Randy's here. Randy Pakaris. Way to go. Pakaris is here. Ricky, 1980. Oh, that's a good name right there. I can't read that one. Pakaris, how's it going? Nora, how are you doing, Miss Nora? All right, so let's get this party started. This is James from Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow. Take you guys along for the ride for that safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. We're here every night, 9 o'clock to 11:30. Some of the comments. Evening, big guy. Larry, how are you today? Michael David Robinson, over here on YouTube. Okay, let me know if this screen in the back is live on YouTube. Now I have two channels on YouTube. Some of the comments on this live are going to be filtered out to protect the innocent, keep us from getting into trouble, that kind of stuff. Now, before we get started, I just want to go over some of the disclaimers. I don't want myself getting in trouble. Smiley Way, how are you today? Tyler, is it Tyler or Taylor? Tyler. Okay, Tyler. All right, so disclaimers. Number one, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is not suggestions. This is not recommendations. I don't make any recommendations whatsoever. I have no problem whatsoever looking at stocks you want me to look at, give you my opinion of them. Now, I only do one trading strategy here and only one. That is dividend capturing along with covered calls. So, what I'm looking for from you guys is only, and I mean only, companies that have increased their dividends for 20 consecutive years and weekly options, because I want a weekly cash flow. Simone, how are you today? The only way I can get a weekly cash flow is by using stocks that have weekly options. All right. So 20 years of increased dividends, weekly options. Don't tell me there's not enough of them. There's over 300. I look at them every week or every quarter. Every quarter, I'll go through 300. What do you think about Celsius? I need a ticker symbol because Celsius is a relatively new company, so I don't know the ticker symbol off the top of my head. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. But usually, Celsius, no, never heard of them. I mean, I heard of the drink, my kids like it, but what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything to me. What kind of a company is it? How consistently do they increase their dividends? How profitable are they? Do they have weekly options? Do they have options at all? There's a lot of interesting questions. Ooh, I could turn my fan on. I was wondering why there was no breeze in here. I like to keep it breezy, keeps the cameras cold. Because if you don't keep the cameras cool, they shut off. All right, I forgot to get Facebook up and running. So let's see if we can get Facebook up and running. Not that, I'm all that fond of Facebook. Because Facebook has, they only keep the videos for 30 days and then they just delete them. What the good is that? How can you actually do any good research if information keeps disappearing? Just my personal opinion. Is that crooked? It looks crooked. All right, it looks a little better. Bo, our stock picks for morning trade group sent on Saturday. Haven't seen yet. Bo, I haven't sent them out yet, and I got to apologize for that. Get Facebook up and running, see what you say over here. Okay. Let's go live on Facebook if they don't want to. Dell tomorrow, last day for dividend. Is a crash coming? I really couldn't tell you if there's a crash coming. Michael, YouTube, Schwab, TOS, close-up screen is operational. Cool bean. What do I think of FCX? So FCX. I don't think I've ever heard of FCX. FCX. Freeport McMoran Incorporated. Okay. Still never heard of them, but alrighty. Give me a second. FCX. We're going to go over to YouTube and check out how often FCX has increased their dividends. Okay, is it even worth taking a look at? Ugh, all over the place. All right, so 95, they were 11 cents. Then they dropped to 3, jumped to 5, then they up to 10, 13, 25, 16, 38, 38, 16, 22, 8, 15, 50, 25, 50, 25, 31, 31, 16, 5, 8, all over the place, 15. So, yeah, I'm going to say no. There's no consistency whatsoever. Think of it this way. Okay, Sheila? Okay, this is just my humble opinion. Okay, you've seen the dividends that they've been paying out. Okay, all over the place. Now, when I like to invest my money into a company, I like it to be um, consistently increasing. All right, that means every single year, higher and higher dividends. Okay, so if it's higher and higher dividends every year, that must mean they are profitable every single year because they keep giving more and more profits to the investors. Now, once we start buying and selling, we become the investors. That's us. That's you and me. Hey, we're the one that creates this crap, making it go all over the place. Well, that's interesting. It's not changing. There it is. Now, I'll change it again one more time. Okay, now I'm not really liking the camera on Facebook. So I get propped up here. Okay, here we go. All right, so it looks interesting. All right, for the Facebook people. Not that I like Facebook because they keep doing weird stuff. Okay, so everything's looking good. I'm sorry, Sheila. FCX, it doesn't work for me. I mean, yeah, they have dividends. But look, you get 30, you get your high way over here, drops, retrace, drops, retrace, drops. We're at the 30-day bottom here. Okay, so you're looking for a new bottom before you jump in. But I personally don't like the company because the dividends aren't consistent. But that's me. I like consistency. Dell. Somebody wants to take a look at Dell. Nope. All right. User whatever wants to look at Dell. All right, Dell. 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 There we go. All right, one more time. Interesting. All right. High. This is our low. This is where we were a year ago. $50. Now it's up to 180. That's a nice move. That's 100. That's 300% increase. From 50 to 100 is 100% increase. To 150 is 150. Is 200% increase. To 180, that's almost 300% increase. So if you think there's not going to be any profit taking between now and then, well, you're kind of silly. So they did have some profit taken from the high of the 80. Okay, retrace back down, retrace back down. Here's where we are now in a little bit of a downturn. But what does the numbers look like for Dell? 125.60. Well, we're looking at the 126s. That's $3 a share. That's well over 1%. As a matter of fact, that's over 2%. Okay, I like 2%. 2% works for me. But a year ago, we're at 51.78. Okay, topped off at 179.70. 179.70 was the top for the year. All right. But from there, looks what happened. Okay, you have your profit taken. 30-day bottom, shoots back up. 30-day bottom, shoots back up. 30-day bottom, 1 day to the upside. So I like Dell if we can get one more day to the upside. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write Dell, top of my list. It's already on the top of my list for tomorrow. All right. I'm going to give it a circle because I like Dell. I like the numbers and I like where it is. Okay. Next on the list. Tom Powell. Seriously, I have no idea what you're talking about. Seriously. VRT. Very cool premiums. VRT. That's what you're saying, Sheila? Okay. VRT. Interesting. Interesting. Let's go see what the dividends look like for VRT. VRT. Vertiv. All right, I'm going to say no to this one, hun. Sorry. Look at it. 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 24. It's like one. Yeah, no, it's not enough dividends for me. Sorry. Nike. Ooh, I like Nike. And I actually have some Nike. So let's take a look what Nike looks like. NKE. Here we go. Nike. Remember that big drop we had right here? Take a look at this. This big drop we had. Well, here's the 30-day bottom down here. We want to take a look at that. So here's your high. Here's your low. That's where it was. That's where it is. What does the number look like? 72, 74. Well, I'm going to look at the 73s. That's the closest one. The 73 is going for 87 cents. I like 87. Okay, 87 is well over 1%. Okay, so Nike. Let's take a look at the chart and see what that does. It's a mining company. Tom Powell. Yeah, but if it doesn't have 20 years of increased dividends, I don't want to bother looking at it. I get 300 companies that consistently increase their dividends and have weekly options. I don't need 301, especially when 301 doesn't meet the criteria of the other 300. Okay? So Nike a year ago was at 108.57. We topped out just about the end of December. It looks like a triple high at 123.39. Now from there, about a month or so ago, we were at 94, 94.64. And then we had this big, huge drop. And it just kept on dropping and dropping and dropping. So let's take a look at the last 30 days. There we go. Last 30 days for Nike. And then you tell me what you think. Okay, 30 days ago, we were at the high at 98. Now we have a 30-day bottom last week. Okay, there it is right there. A couple of days to the upside. Now we're sitting at 72.42. Okay, now 72.42, that's giving us the over 1%. So that works for me. I like that. Why not? All right. So what does it normally? Whoa. What does it normally do this time of year? For that, we look at seasonality. Now, for those of you who don't know or don't remember, this chart here, way over to the left is January 1st. Way over to the right is yesterday, or should I say Friday. Okay. Okay. The blue line represents this year's movement with the stock. The red line represents 10-year average movement. So that's 2014, 2015, 2016, 17, 18, all the way up to last year. That is what we're currently looking at right here. So I want to look at this area right in here because that's where we are now. See, this little blue dot represents last Friday between July and August. Whoops. I said I was going to do this from now on. From July and August is when I want to look at. All right. So if I'm looking for here, right where the blue dot is, and I drag it forward, this is what I want to look at. From July 19th all the way to August 14th. So that's like the next 3 weeks. But if you take a look, right where the crosshairs come together, okay, this thing's going to the upside. Fine. I like it when it goes to the upside, especially when I'm in it and I'm trying to make some money off of it. So I like Nike. How do you find stocks to trade? Frederico, ¿qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? I'm just making the assumption of Frederico Christopher. The way I find my stocks, very simple. Go to a Google search. You look for, you ready? Into the Google search, you do Dividend Kings List 2024. Dividend Aristocrats List 2024. Dividend Champions List 2024. Dividend Contenders List 2024. And then, of course, Warren Buffett's stock list 2024. Those 5 lists right there will give you well over 300 companies that have consistently increased their dividends. Hey, Tom Powell, FCX. We already talked about that. Now, I appreciate, all the effort that you put in, but FCX, okay, mining company, big whoop-de-doo, okay. Go to Yahoo Finance. And what does Yahoo Finance tell me about FCX? Well, very first thing I see, 2024 dividend, 15 cents. 2023 dividend, 15 cents. 2022 dividend, 15 cents. Yet they haven't increased at all. And if they haven't increased at all, means, well, are they really profitable? Well, they're giving out the same amount of money, but they're just treading water. They're not increasing at all. Now, if we take a look at something like MSFT, Microsoft, okay, 2024, 75, 2023, 68, 2022, 62, 2021, 56, 2020, 51, 2019, 46, slowly increasing every single year. Every single year. That's what I'm looking for. A company that's consistently profitable and makes more money year after year after year. Why do I want to look at FCX if they haven't increased their dividends in 3 years? Are they consistently profitable? I mean, are they still profitable? How do I know? So FCX is a no. That's a no. Sorry. Buying opportunity of a lifetime. Nike. We just looked at Nike a little while ago. I wouldn't call it a lifetime. It's a good opportunity. Uh-oh, NEP. Somebody want to take a look at NEP? I never even heard of NEP. Nike. FCX. Bo, you want to look at NEP? Who the heck is NEP? NEP. Let's see what the dividend looks like first. NextEra Energy Partners. Nice. They're increasing their dividends. How far back do they go? 2014. Okay, that's 20 years from 2014 to today, and they're consistently increasing. I like that. Well, good. Well, let's take a look at the charts and see what NEP has to tell us. Okay, at this moment in time, 26.83. That's the current going price. So the closest one I'm going to find is going to be the 27. And that's a buck. That's over 3%. I'm going to write this one down for tomorrow, NEP, depending on what the chart says, of course. So let's take a look at the chart. A year ago, we're at 59.23. October finds the bottom of the year, 2017. Look at the channel it's been in for like the last 9 months. Okay, bottom out somewhere around 26.50. Okay, 26.50 looks like the bottom. And then right up here, 30. Okay, that's a nice channel. It's been staying there all that time. All right, here's our high right here. Back in the end of May. 34.99, just around 35. And then she drops sideways for a bit, and that finds our 30-day bottom right here, 24.08. Okay, and that's the beginning of July. All right, so what's the last 30 days look like? For that, I want to look at 621, which is right there. Okay, so here's 621. High is 28.61, but not really, 28.77 and 28.74. So they got a double high here. Okay, but here's our 30-day bottom right here, July 2nd. Okay, from there she shoots up, pull back, shoots up, pull back. So she's starting to pull back now. So NEP looks interesting. I'm going to say another week or two before it actually looks at something I want to purchase. NEP is on my list. Now, before I forget, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to my watch list. Edit. Add symbol. Come on. Okay. Sorry, I got to slide all the way down. NEP. Add symbol. There we go. Save. All right, so now NEP is into my watch list. I didn't notice it before. Thank you for pointing it out. Just had squeaked by with 20 years of increased dividends. Best and cheap dividends. Not quite sure. Thoughts on Zscaler? Never heard of them. What company is this? NEP, NextEra Energy Partners. Levi. Oh, I've never done Levi. That's why. It's a monthly. Sorry, Mark. I don't do monthlies. 3-year investor think or swim about SoFi. Jason. SoFi, you say, huh? Okay, interesting. Numbers are interesting. Let's take a look at how often and how consistent SoFi does with their dividends, because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a company. Oh, imagine that. No dividends at all. Why would I invest in a company that pays no dividend, especially if it is a dividend investing for weekly cash flow show? Okay, that's what we're talking about here. Dividend investing for weekly cash flow. This company has no dividends at all. So why are we wasting our time looking at SoFi? Sorry, Jason, SoFi's a no. SMCI already did that. Jason, SoFi's a no. SMCI, that's another one. No, SMCI. Okay. $796. Yeah, I don't think so. SMCI. Not even showing up. Hey, not even showing up, so that's going to be a no. ZS. I never even heard of ZS. If I understand your strategy, though, you wouldn't be able to buy Dell Monday for Friday's expiration. Why? Dell is right here. Why can't I buy Dell? Okay, last 30 days. Where are we? Right there. Last 30 days. Take a look. Last 30 days. 30 days ago, we're at 130, 148. Okay, we dropped down to 138, dropped down to 134, shot up to 150. And our 30-day bottom right here on the 18th, which was Thursday. Okay, Thursday was the 30-day bottom. What happened on Friday? Well, Friday is higher. Friday is higher than Thursday. So that's one day to the upside. So if Monday is an up day, well, hell yeah, I'll jump into Dell. Considering Dell at the 26s or the 126s are going for $3. That's over 2%. Why wouldn't I buy Dell? And what does Dell normally do this time of year? For that, we look at seasonality right here. Look at that. That baby's flat. I love flat. Do you know why? Flat means there's no big surprises. No big upturns, no big downturns. No surprise. I like no surprises. No surprises works for me. So if I can do a simple covered call on Dell on Monday and get over 2%, okay, if I can get over 2%, yeah, I'm going to do it. Why not? I like Dell. All right. Next on the list. Big boys loading up on Nike. All right. F a go. Oh, you like Ford. Don't get me wrong. I love Ford. Ford used to be my go-to stock, and it's going to be a no. Okay, not that it's a no that I'll never do it. It's a no at this moment in time, only because we got a high right here. 1 day of profit taking is not enough. Look at all that space from 1180 all the way up to 1480. 1180 to 1480 is $3. Well, what's $3 of an $11 stock? That's 25%. You get a 25% increase. Of course, there's going to be profit taken. I'm one of those people that would do it. If my stock goes up 5% or 10%, yeah, I'm taking profits because it ain't a profit until you take it. And nobody ever went broke taking profits. Okay, so if I take my profit from Ford, great, thank you. I'll see you after you drop, turn around and go back up again, and I'll jump back on that pony. I like that pony named Ford. I do. All right, 42 more messages. Wow, is Marvel on the list? Sheila, I do like Marvel. I do. MRVL. We have, whoops, we have bought Marvel in the past. Wow, look at that. I mean, is that a pattern or what? Look at that. That's a pattern and a half. Pattern, pattern. Yeah, same thing. All right, Jason, I can't say whether or not. Starbucks. I'll take a look at Starbucks also. But let me take a look at Marvel first. Okay, a year ago, 63.79, bottomed out at 46.07, and that was the end of October. Okay, topped out at 85. What is that? 82.51. That's our top in the first week of March. Okay, but look at the pattern: down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Look at the little tiny blip right there. You're down, couple of days retrace, up, couple of days retrace, up, 1 day retrace, up, down, up, 1 day retrace, up, down, up, 2 days retrace. Okay, so now she's on her way to the downside, which means the last 30 days right here. Okay, take a look. Okay, last 30 days ago, 72, drops down to 66.78, shoots up to the 30-day high at 76.43, drops back down. Now we have two numbers right here. I'm going to call this a double bottom because they're really close. 66 and 66.03. Okay, so 66 was the low, which is Thursday. 66.03 was a little bit higher. So you could count that as an up day, but not really. Because she didn't go as low on Thursday as she did. She didn't go as low on Friday as she did on Thursday. So Thursday was a little bit lower. Friday, not so low. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on Marvel because look at the numbers we're looking at. 66.65. The 67s are going for $1.57. That's over 2%. Well, I love over 2%. 2% is over 100% per year. If I could do 2% every week, great. That's over 100% for the year. But here, I want to wait for another day to the upside, a good green day to the upside. I want to see it change and go to the upside before I jump in. But I like it. So I'm going to write Marvel down for next week. MRVL. So we'll take a gander at it next week. All right, Jason, you want to look at Starbucks, huh? SBUX. Now, I just so happen to own some Starbucks, all right? Just to let you know. 79 at the moment. The 79 is going for 130. That's over 1%. Great. Take a look at the chart. A year ago, okay, we're at 102. Our high is 107 towards the middle of November. Now look at here. Here's where I jumped in. Okay, I jumped in at 88. All right, when she was here at 88, that was back at the end of April. And the very next day, she drops down. And I waited for it to get to around 72 before I bought some more to do some dollar cost averaging. She went up, she pulled back, and look at our 30-day bottom. Let's go to 30 days right there. Okay, you can't mistake this one. Look at the 30-day bottom right here on the 16th. Okay, the low was 77.51. Okay, great. 1, 2, 3 days to the upside. Okay, 1, 2, 3 days to the upside. Now we're at 76.88. Okay, now that was the close. 76.88. So why does it say 79? That must have been after hours. But if I buy it at 79, the 79 is going for $1.30. That's over 1%. If you like Starbucks. Because remember, that's not question number one. You can't get to question number 2, question number 3, or question number 4 until you get past question number 1. Question number 1 is never buy something you don't want to own long term. So, do you like Starbucks? Do you want to buy Starbucks? What if you buy it and it goes down? Are you going to be okay with that? Because stocks only go 2 ways. They go up or they go down, and that is it. So if you're buying it first thing in the morning and it goes down, well, hey, that's what happens. If you think you're going to jump in and buy stocks and all they do is go up, you're sadly mistaken. Stocks go up, they go down. If you buy it, yeah, it's going to go down. Yeah, it's going to go up. That's what they do. The idea is to buy it at the bottom because you make money when you buy low and sell high. Well, how can you figure that out? Well, it's pretty simple. Okay, right here on the 25th, that represents the high of the 30-day period. I mean, 30 days ago was 621 because we're on 721 now. So 30 days ago, we were here. We opened up at 80.21. See this number right here? Okay, 80.21. We opened up at 30 days ago. 3 days later, we're at our 30-day high, 80.75. That's a 30-day high. You really can't mistake it because look at it. It's the highest point on this chart. So what happens after a 30-day high? Well, profit taking to a 30-day bottom. And here it is right here, 716, 30-day bottom. You really can't hide that when you're looking at the chart. Okay, and that is 71.55. So the 17th, 18th, and 19th, all three were 3 days higher than the 30-day bottom. So is that the 30-day bottom? To me, it is. I like 2 days to the upside before I call it a 30-day bottom. Some people want 4 or 5 days to the upside before they call it a 30-day bottom. But nope, I'm okay with it as it is. So if I buy it first thing in the morning at 79, I sell somebody the rights to buy it from me at 79, the exact same price I paid for it. Why would I do that? Well, the reason why I want to do that is I want to collect this. Okay? I want to collect that. That is the premium from selling a covered call. Now, you can't sell a covered call without first buying the stock. So if I buy the stock first thing Monday, well, here's the price I'm going to pay, $79.05. Okay, and what is the strike price that's closer to $79.05? Well, 79. Okay, and the 79 is selling for $1.30. Now, $1.30 is almost 2% of 79. Almost. All right, so let's look at some more. Ooh, 62 more questions. Wow, you guys got a bunch of stuff. All right, without Thinkorswim, are stock markets that they have weekly options? Okay, Larry, I'm not understanding that at all. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Larry, without Thinkorswim, are the stock marked that they have weekly ops? I'm sorry, Larry. That's a little confusing for me. Olympics coming for Nike. They're sponsoring like everything. Okay, fine. I like Nike. I have some Nike. Johnson & Johnson, huge dividend buy. Okay, Jason. Now, don't get me wrong. Johnson & Johnson is on my list. However, I've always found that Johnson & Johnson premiums aren't the greatest in the world. Okay? 154.89. The 155s going for 122. Not quite 1%. I very rarely ever buy Johnson & Johnson. Don't get me wrong. It's a great company. Been around for over 100 years. They are dividend king. If you like Dell or Nike, can you not buy them now? No, you can't buy them now because the market's not open now. Sorry, Bob. Gotta wait till the market opens at 9:30 tomorrow morning. ExxonMobil. Oh, Jason, you come up with a bunch of them. I like ExxonMobil. I have bought ExxonMobil a bunch of times. Let's take a look. ExxonMobil is going to be a no this time around. Only reason is, take a look at where we are. Okay? You can't mistake that. That is a 30-day high. I do not buy at a 30-day high. I don't do what is called the thing. You know what the thing is? If it's buying right here, I'm waiting for it to go higher. No, I don't do the thing. I like it when you hit a 30-day high, it drops down, and here I'll jump in 2 days after the up. Okay, again, here, 30-day, previous 30-day high, 30-day bottom, 2 days the upside, jump in, great. 30-day high, 30-day bottom, fine, jump in 2 days the upside. Okay, well, here's a 30-day high here. And Friday, it was down a little bit. So is that a sign of it dropping? I don't know, but that's what it looks like to me. Okay, I like ExxonMobil. I'm going to put ExxonMobil down on my list for 2 weeks out. It's already on the list for 2 weeks out. Imagine that. Oh, Peter Pestonius. Exxon is garbage. Don't buy. Well, I'm terribly sorry about Peter, but I like ExxonMobil. I do, especially when ExxonMobil gives me over 1%. I'm perfectly happy with ExxonMobil. Not this week, though. Okay, Serba. I don't do Forex. Okay, Euro, USD. Yeah, no. Johnson & Johnson. Okay. Jolly, sorry. Oops, I missed a bunch of questions. Are you selling the weekly calls, Boomba? Yes, I am. I use an app called Public. Larry, never heard of it. Johnson & Johnson, expensive. Okay. Tesla has a great premium. Yes, but you know what Tesla doesn't have? Tesla doesn't have any dividends. Okay, Dara, VOO, that's one of the big turds I desperately dislike hugely. Let me tell you why I dislike VOO. Number one, VOO is $500 a share, a little out of my price range. Okay, what is that? 8 months ago? 8 months ago, we're at 377. Now we're at 506. Look at all of this right here. All that is potential profit taking. This thing went almost straight up. Okay, a little bit of pullback here in April, but just kept on shooting up. Okay, you may think that's great, fine, dandy, but let's take a look at exactly what VOO is offering to its investors. VOO. Okay, let's take a look at the dividends. Okay, they got dividends all the way back. Let's go. How far back do they go? To 2010. 2010, which means there's only 14 years of dividends. Okay, you may think 14 years of dividends is good. But let's check out the numbers. 56, 53, 54, 57, 58, 69, 57, 64, 69, 94, 67. Going backwards. 74, 79, 91, 78. Backwards again. 81, 88, 98, 90. Back again. 95, 90, 109, 101, 95, 88. Backwards again. Okay, they go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. No, not a huge amount of consistency. 118, 108, 116, 120, 129, 136, 118, backwards. 143, 131, backwards again. 138, 126, backwards again. 133, 130. They keep going backwards, upward. Okay, I don't like the consistency of the dividends. Well, that's one. That's just one. Well, that's two reasons. Reason number one is, it's out of my price range. That's reason number one. Reason number two, they're not consistent with their dividends, which means they're not consistently profitable. Okay, that's basically what it means. They're not consistently profitable. But here's the big one for me. Okay, here's the biggie why I don't like VOO and the crap that they dish out to people like you. Okay, so sorry, Dara, I'm not sure if you knew this. Okay, but you're putting your money into a company, into a computer, because it's an ETF. An ETF is an electronically traded fund. And don't give me that exchange traded fund crap, exchange crap, because the exchanges are all electronic. So you're giving your money to a computer, and the computer is giving you, are you ready? Can you see this number here? 1.32%. All right, 1.32. You're investing your money, $500 a share, and you're getting 1.3% per share for return for the year. That's not for the week. That's not for the month. That's for the year. 1.3. I'm showing you. Okay, I've shown you like 5 or 6 different companies that give you well over 1% per week, and you are going to put it into this big fat turd at 1.3% for the year? Hey, more power to you. If it works for you, great. DOO, no, not for me. Dina Linden, AbbVie. Ooh, I've owned it in the last 12 years. Okay, well, you're braver than I am. I have, the longest I've ever owned anything was 9 months. Okay, now I've been investing for over 20 years. All right. Okay, I came up with this trading strategy for my 9-year-old daughter. She wanted to learn how to trade. Great, fine. The longest I've ever held anything was 9 months, and that was Kimberly Clark last year. Okay, 3 companies last year bit me in the butt really bad. Kimberly Clark, Target, and PPG. Don't get me wrong, all 3 good companies, but Kimberly Clark I held for 9 months. Target and PPG, each one I held for 6 months. Okay, fine. I got plenty of premiums and plenty of dividends. I didn't lose. Good evening, Lucky Larry. Okay, so AbbVie. Let's take a look at AbbVie. Well, AbbVie, I'm pretty sure is only going to be a no because of where it's sitting at the moment. Okay, I like AbbVie, and I usually buy AbbVie. Okay, look at the numbers. 174.26. Okay, the 175s are going for 240. That's well over 1%. Okay, but what is it I don't like? Well, 30 days ago, we opened up at 170. Okay, our 30-day bottom was down here, 163.46. 30-day top was Thursday. Okay, and that was 176.76. Friday was a little bit down. Does that mark the opportunity where it starts to come down? And if so, I'm going to put AbbVie on my list for the next 2 weeks. Okay, not this week, but next week. Nope, it's not on my list, but it is now. A, B, B, V. There we go. Now the reason why I'm putting it 2 weeks out is the way I'm looking at it. Right, here's a 30-day high up here, 176.82. The 30-day bottom's down here at 164. Look at the movements that it's having. Okay, it moves about $2 on that day, about $4 there, $2 there, $4 there. So from where it is to go down to the 30-day, previous 30-day bottom is way down here, I think it's going to take about a week or two. So it's not an opportunity for next week, but maybe the week after. Oh, so Dean, I got a question for you. Let's go back for a second. So Dina, here's my question. Okay, now you said you've owned this for a while. Now, a year ago, it was at 142. Okay, the high of the year was 182. That's a $40 difference. I have no idea where you jumped in. You think of it as a merry-go-round. You jumped in at some point. Okay, may have been $70, may have been $80, may have been $100, may have been $200. I don't know. But here's the thing. She goes up. Where is it? A year ago, 142. She went up. She pulled back. She went up. She pulled back. She went up, pulled back, up, pull back, up, pull back, up, pull back, up, pull back, so on and so forth. And it tops out in the 180 area. So my question for you, considering you said you owned it for years, why haven't you sold it? Okay, it's not a profit until you take it. Because if you bought it at the 155, okay, and she shot up to 180, well, that's not a profit until you take it. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. And if she drops down to 136, well, did you buy more? Or did you just say, yeah, whatever, just collect the dividends? That's what a lot of people do, just collect dividends. Now, I missed a lot of questions, so let's move back, See some of these questions I missed out. All right. Do the premiums increase and decrease with the increase and decrease of the stock price? Absolutely, Sheila. These numbers over here that you're seeing, okay, the last traded price for AbbVie, 172, 172.32. That was the last trade on Friday afternoon. Okay, 4 o'clock. That's the last trade. The bid at this moment in time, 170.14. The ask, 174.26. Now, that's the stock price. Underneath that, this is the option chain. Okay, the bid and the ask for all the different strike prices. Okay, during the market hours, these numbers are constantly changing. Constantly, every 5 or 10 seconds, they change, they change, they change, they change. So when you make a trade, you got to be quick about it. Take your pick, do your sell or you buy, whatever, and then move on to the next one. Okay, B, what kind of dividends does it have? I don't know, Jerry. Webull has low margin rates. Okay. Hey, Hollywood's here. What's happening, Hollywood? Hey, have you been collecting premiums all these years? It's a good question. Badfish, you got courage for WBA. Hey, you know what? Let's take a look at WBA. I love WBA. It's been very profitable for me this year. Okay? So, hypothetically speaking, we know that the high of the year for WBA is 31. That's the high of the year. The low of the year is way down here, right? 1060. Okay, so that's a wait a minute, $20 drop off a $30 stock. That's a 60% drop. So here's the question for you, Badfish. When do you make money in the stock market? Well, you make it when you buy low and sell high. So here's an interesting question for you, or interesting thought process. You ready? Walgreens has been in business for over 100 years. Okay, Walgreens has 8,700 different stores. There's a Walgreens in every major city in the United States and some in Europe. If you think Walgreens is just going to go off quietly into the night, I think you're sadly mistaken, but that's just me. I could be wrong. I have been wrong before. Not a big deal. I don't mind being wrong. Okay? I just want to make sure that I'm profitable consistently. I don't care about being wrong, but as long as I'm profitable consistently, I'm okay with it. Okay, so a year ago, 31.32. Okay, and then she drops. Look where we are. Okay, last 30 days would be right there. All right, so here's the last 30 days. On the 24th is our 30-day high, 1625. Our 30-day bottom is right here, July 9th. Well, what's happened since then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days to the upside. Okay? And then Friday, she pulled back a little bit. Okay. You make money when you buy low and you sell high. Okay, this thing hasn't been this low in over 7 years. So if you're going to buy, you want to buy low. And you want to buy low as you can go. Okay, yeah, they're having issues because the current administration doesn't want to prosecute theft under $900. Well, Walgreens has a whole bunch of stuff that's under $900. People come in, clean them out, and leave. So there's a lot of stores that are going to be closed. From what I understand, 25%. Okay? They're closing 25% of stores. So you cut the bleeding. Okay? You get rid of the dead weight. However you want to look at it. If they're not performing, fine. Let's liquidate and move our assets to someplace that is working. Okay? If people want something from Walgreens, well, they're going to have to get it online. There's a lot of stores are moving online. Don't get me wrong. I like walking into stores and actually having a face-to-face with the person behind the counter. But that's me. I'm a dying breed. There's not a lot of me out there. Okay? But yeah, I like Walgreens, and I do happen to own Walgreens. And I will continue to buy it and sell it. Because I don't buy anything long term. Like I said earlier, the longest I've ever held anything is 9 months. Preferably, I like to buy on a Monday and be out on a Friday. I'm looking for the 1%. That's it. All right. Let me take a couple more of these questions. Hollywood likes ExxonMobil. Now, we already looked at ExxonMobil. Now, SC, you want the SQQQs. I can tell you no now, or I can look it up and then tell you no. SQQQ. You ready? No. Why is it a no? Well, at the moment, it's at $8.35. Let's take a look at the SQQQ Yahoo Finance and tell me what it says. All right, that's not what I'm looking for. I want Bing. I want Yahoo Finance. Okay, so here's the SQQQs. Okay, they've only been paying dividends since 2017. So what's up with Macy's? All right, Tim, we're going to take a look at Macy's in a little bit. Just hang tight for a little bit because I do have some Macy's and I probably might be buying some more tomorrow. Mahmoud Siha and Victor, you guys want to join me live? Well, I'm going to suggest you both drop me a phone number. I'll call you and see if you actually have something positive to contribute to the conversation. Okay, because I don't want to talk about anything other than dividend investing. Okay, so let's take a look at what SQQQ is paying for dividends. In 2017, it was $3 a share. 2018 went to $3.50. Then the 4.10, then the 6.10, then the 10.30. So like the first 5 months, it's like, oh, freak, this is awesome. So in 2018, it went from $10.30 a share down to $2.90. Explain to me how that's a good thing. Okay, going from $10.30 a share to the next quarter, it being $2.90 a share. Yeah, that don't make me happy. Next, 6.10. All right, 4.30 back down again. 2.70 back down again. 1.63 back down. Look at in 2022, 15 cents. They went from $10 a share to 15 cents. And you think SQQQ is good? Yeah, no, sorry. Now, make things worse. Let's find out what kind of yield they're offering. Oh, well, that's a halfway decent yield. It's 11%. Okay, 11.25. One of the better ones I've seen, 11.25%. But here's the thing. If I'm showing you a trading strategy called covered call, combined with dividend capturing, you take dividend capturing and covered calls, you put them together along with stock options, you can get a safe, predictable 1% per week. Why would I want 11% per year if I can get 1% per week? And 1% per week, we all know, is over 50% per year. Larry, I sent you a message earlier today. Have a great night. All right, Larry. Bo, ADM. Okay, let's take a look at Archer Daniels, ADM. ADM. All right, so SQQ, big fat no. Okay, now Archer Daniels is on one of my lists. Okay, the high, it was like a double high last year, 87.38, and that was in the beginning of August. From there, she dropped. The end of January is the bottom at 50.64. But look at the last 4 months. Check that out. Up, down, whoops, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Yep. What do you think is going to happen here? Friday, you have a down day. Thursday was the high of the 30-day period. There we go, 30 days, right there. 30 days. Here we go. Okay, the 30-day bottom, you really can't mistake it for anything else. Exactly 30 days ago was the 30-day bottom. It's 60, that number right there, what says the L, see? So you guys don't know, date, open, high, low, close, range. I have no idea what the Y means. I really don't. Okay, but when I have the cursor here, 30 days ago, see? 621, it opened up at 60.17. That's actually the bottom, 60.17. Okay, now, Thursday was a 30-day high. Friday, it pulled back. Well, what do you think is going to happen again? Well, more than likely, there's going to be a profit take because it went from 60 to 65. Now, a $5 increase on a $60 stock is just a little bit under 10%. What companies are on your calendar for next week? Having EX dates next week. Hey, Jay Hernandez, how are you today? Most people start out a conversation with, hey, James, how are you doing today? Did you have a good weekend? No, I had a crappy weekend. I was supposed to be up in Boston and Maine, but somebody thought it would be fun to play with the, I don't know, the security of the airlines, and everything got canceled. Well, everything from Delta got canceled. Southwest Airlines flew fine because they used Apple computers. They didn't use IBM computers. Yep, some hacker's probably laughing his ass off. And here I am pissed off because I spent all day yesterday on the phone trying to get my money back for a flight that got canceled and a car that got, I paid for the car rental. Well, how the hell can I rent a car in Boston if I'm here in Florida? Anyway, no, my weekend wasn't that great. What companies are on your calendar? I got a bunch of them on my list. How about Sunoco? Isn't that S-U-N? Yeah, Sunoco. Sorry, Sunoco is going to be a no. Several reasons. Reason number one, it's too close to a 30-day high. See it right here? And it's a monthly. I don't like monthlies because, as you can figure it out, monthlies, there's only 12 months in a year. So if I'm getting a covered call, if I'm writing a covered call on a monthly, well, I'm only getting 12 checks a year. Okay, fine. That's more than some people. But I prefer weeklies. Because weeklies, they have an option every 7 days. And I can get a check every 7 days, which is 52 times a year. And I didn't go to college, so I have no degrees whatsoever. But I do know that 50 weeks is a hell of a lot better than 12. 50 checks are a lot better than 12 checks. All right. Dun, 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 dun. You seem super chill. Dude, thank you there, Ethan. I kind of am. Not a lot bothers me. You get to a certain point where it's like, yeah, whatever. I come from the the Gen X's. Okay, we're like, just leave us alone. We just want to be left alone. Okay, we take everything with a grain of salt. Okay, we're not the bigger person. Okay, there is no safe space with us. We just want to be left alone. This is what I want to do. I want to buy stocks. I want to get a safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week, live off of my interest, and just be left alone. I want to go hang out at the beach, go swim in the pool with my little buddy, my little grandson. He's 4 years old. Okay, that's what I want to do with the rest of my life. Watch the grass grow, get my 1% per week, with my investments, and then just chill and relax and then help you guys out. Now, I've already committed myself to do this until the end of the year. So I've been doing this since the beginning of the year. January 2nd was my first broadcast. Okay, January 2nd, my very first broadcast. I've missed 2 days. 2. One, I was sick as a dog. The other, I had to take someone to the hospital. Okay, can you buy just one share of a stock for a call? Unfortunately, Bob, you got to have 100 shares in order to do one call option. Okay, one call option equals 100 shares. But to collect a dividend, you can get just 1 or 2 stocks. That works. Now, how much is usually invest in one share? Said 500 was out price range. Just curious. Oh yeah, Denelidin, Dina Lynn Leiden. Oh, Dina Leiden. Oh, Dina Leiden. Yeah, I don't like buying stocks over $250 because however much money you think I have, I don't. I can't afford a $500 stock because I like to buy them in $1,000 increments. Sorry, 1,000 share increments. So 1,000 shares at $500 a share, that's $500,000. Yeah, I don't get that. Okay, 250. Yeah, maybe I can manage that, but 500, no. All right. Dominique, how are you? Sunoco, we already looked at Sunoco. Dara was going to invest into it tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, Dara, I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, I'm going to apologize because I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you and not understand what you're saying. It's just that the questions come so fast and just from one topic to another to another to another. So you're new here, Dara, because I'm really good with names. And take, for instance, right underneath Wade. Wade's been here, I think, since January. So him I know. Pinchers, you're new also. You want to look at Altria. I think we looked at Altria the other day, And I don't think, yeah, Altria is going to be a big fat no. Not that I don't like Altria, because Altria is on my personal list. And I will buy in Altria when the timing is right. Look at where it is right now. Thursday was the high of the 30-day period. Okay, so the 21st, okay, this is another perfect setup. Look at this. 30 days ago was the 30-day bottom. What did it do in 30 days? Well, it went from 44.89 to 49.49, which is a $5 increase, which is over 10%. So just to let you know, from here in 30 days, 10% increase in 30 days, yeah, I'd be buying, I'd be taking profits myself. But I don't do it that way. I do covered calls. I will buy it at the 49.50, sell the 49.50 for 45 cents, get my 1%, say thank you very much. I'll see you again in 90 days. Why do I say that? Well, because Altria pays a dividend every 90 days. So if I buy it just before the dividend, grab my 1%. Thank you. I'll see you in 90 days. Because what it's going to do in 90 days? Well, it's going to pay out another dividend. Or what happens when they pay out a dividend? Well, just before the dividend, the stock usually goes up. Okay, so if the stock usually goes up every 90 days just before the dividend, well, that's when I buy it, or that's when I look at it. I don't buy it all the time because, as you can see now, 30 days ago was a 30-day bottom, and Thursday was a 30-day top. So was Friday a pullback, or Friday just not as high as Thursday was? I don't know. But I don't do the thing. I don't buy high and wait for it to go higher. Yeah, I don't do that. It doesn't work for me. Okay, you make money in the stock market by buying low and selling high. So how do you find that low? Well, it happens kind of like this. Let's go backwards a little bit. Just as for instance. Okay, so back in, was that November 24th? Check it out, November 24th. Okay, at a high here at 42.97. Okay, profit taking, drops down to 40.98. Okay, shoots back up, 42.85. That's a 5% increase. Okay, drops back down to 40.03. Shoots back up to 42. That's a 5% increase. Okay, then it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, and here we are right now. Okay, that's all it does. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Do you honestly think about this, do you honestly think just because you like Altria, you're going to buy it at 41.85 and it's going to go up and never, ever, ever, ever going to come back down again? You're sadly mistaken. It doesn't work that way. All stocks do is they go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. However you want to look at it. Well, it goes up, escalation. Well, what happens when it goes down? Some people call it a correction, a pullback. I call it profit taking. Because if I had bought it at 40.86 and it hit 43, because that's close, that's just under 10%, was it 8.5% increase? Well, hell yeah, I'm only looking for 1% for a week. So why wouldn't I take part of that profit? Look at it. Okay, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's all it does. I love Altria. I do. Just not this week, because look where it is this week. Okay? It's at a 30-day high. Could it go higher tomorrow? Yes, it could. Could it go higher Tuesday? Yes, it could. But I don't play that game. But that's me. Because I don't take the chance. I will wait for the profit taking to take place. Because don't kid yourself that it ain't going to. Because your 30-day bottom was right here, 39.24. Your 30-day top is 42. So that's 39. That's a $3 move. $3 move on a $40 stock, that's well over 8%. I'm only looking for one. Do you think I wouldn't take profits if it's up 8%? Oh, hell yes, I would. But not this week. Sorry, Altria is going to have to wait for another week. User 4414. Yeah, I don't do Coinbase. Sorry, they don't have 20 years of increased dividends. What's your favorite dividend stock with good returns weekly? Oh, Macy's. Without hesitation, Macy's. All right, Altria was a no. Oh, I think I already have Altria written down for 2 weeks. Nope. Yeah. I'm going to take a look at Altria again in 2 weeks. Yeah, sorry. Coinbase, no. Altria Pinches, we already looked at that one. I thought so. Is it hard to learn a trade? Absolutely not, V. All right. You ask yourself a simple question. All right. Now, number one, never buy something you don't understand. All right. You don't want to hold long term. All right. So let me rattle off a few for you just for the fun of it, and you tell me what you think. Okay. Here's a quick list just for the fun of it, and tell me if you like these companies. American Express, Bristol Myers Squibb, Globe Life, MasterCard, Verizon, Procter & Gamble, AbbVie, Bank Mellon, Ally Bank, Aon, DHI. Okay, that's Warren Buffett's list. Okay, if it's good enough for Warren, it's good enough for me. So these are the one companies I don't ever bother checking. I don't, because Warren Buffett does a very good job checking to make sure that he only buys top quality companies. So if it's good enough for Warren, well, it's good enough for me. Now, what do I check? Well, I check my own lists. Well, here's one of my lists right here. Okay, Dividend Kings, Clorox, Procter & Gamble, Lowe's, AbbVie, Abbott Labs, Hormel. Okay, every one of those companies is over 100 years old. Every single one of them has increased their dividends for more than 5 decades. Yeah, I will take a look. Are they profitable? Are they running properly? Well, they increased their dividends for 5 decades. Not every once in a while, every single year after year after year. Yeah, so most of them are no-brainers for me. The only thing I don't like about them is, most of them, they're so old, it's like, yeah, I don't care about the options. So sometimes the option premiums are less than 1%. But you have to do a balancing act. Okay, 1%, but they're paying for 50 years or more. Okay? As opposed to some companies only paying for 20 years. Well, still 20 years of increased dividends is pretty damn good. All right. Costco. Dominique, Costco's a no because it's overpriced. Sheila, what layout for the option chain is most reliable to use? Now, Sheila, that's a question you're going to have to figure out on your own because I'm not 100% sure what it is you're looking for. I mean, I know we had a conversation, a nice conversation, but I don't know exactly what it is you're looking to do other than, investing in the market and making a nice return. Okay, so I can only go by what I like. I can't tell people what to do. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to because I don't know very much about you guys. I like looking at 10 strike prices or 8 strike prices, and I like just the calls. I don't do the puts here on this show. Okay? But I don't know exactly what it is you're looking to do. If you're looking to do the same thing I'm looking to do, well, this is the way I like to have my setup. And this is what I like to look at. All right, more questions. RJ30 pack, even Macy's. I like Macy's. We're going to take a look at Macy's in a little bit. AMD, Denelson alone. Okay, I already looked at AMD. Do you invest in stocks? For how long do you keep your shares to get paid dividends? All right, use a 3305, 03, 02, whatever. I only buy on a Monday, and I would really, really, really like to be out on a Friday. Okay, I do covered calls, and I do weekly options. Okay, so the options expire every week. Take a look. 26 July. Well, there's 5 days left. It expires on Friday. 2 August. Well, it expires in 12 days. It's the following Friday. 9 August. Well, 19 days. It's the following Friday. It's 3 Fridays out. And then you get 16 August. Every Friday, I like to buy a stock, sell a covered call against it using a weekly option. That way I'm in on Monday and I'm out on Friday. I like that consistent cash flow. All right, Dominique, you already asked me about Costco, and I already said Costco's way too overpriced for me. How about Hut? Megatron Melby. Hut. What the heck is Hut? Well, number one, it's going to be a no because it's way, it's way too close to the high. Okay, that's number one. Okay, number two, I've never heard of them, so let's see how often they have increased their dividends to see if they're even a possibility to jump into. Hut has no dividends, so Hut is a no. Sorry, Megatron. Hut is a no. Now, Sunoco, we've already looked at. Okay. Smoke-O-Matic. Smoke-O-Matic. All right, Sun, yeah, we already looked at that one. That's going to be a no. Pinchers. I will get to it. You're right. Bank of America. Oh, somebody likes Bank of America. Bank of America, again, over 100 years old. Wow, how did I miss all these? I'm in Maine. Yeah, I was supposed to go to Maine. I don't want to hear that. It wasn't hackers. It was CRWD. I have no idea what that means. Okay, for some strange reason, all the planes got canceled. All the flights got canceled, and mine was one of them. Okay, kind of ruined my whole week. You know how hard it is to get 5 adults to get the same exact time off? So all 3 of my kids work, okay, and they had to get time off. Now, you don't have no other choice in the matter when a family member dies. Well, not really a family member, but he's my best friend in high school since 1978. He was there for my wedding. He was there for all the kids getting born. He actually lived with us for a while, and he just got married. He got married a while ago. But yeah, his dad died, and I was supposed to go up there to the funeral. And some strange reason, all the flights for Delta got canceled. Okay, no flights on Saturday, no flights on Sunday. Monday, too late. Already had the funeral. What's the point of going up there after the funeral's already been done? Okay, so let's keep looking at some of these questions. What's your take on Riven? Okay, SC. Okay, you're relatively new here because if you've been here for a while, I don't do Riven. Riven doesn't have 20 years of increased dividends. What's up if you hold a stock has been delisted? Well, why would you buy it in the first place if it's becoming possibly delisted? After December, we are having you anymore. That's not what I said, Simone. I said after December, I will decide what I want to do next. Because the first quarter, I did it, and I didn't think it was going to go over that well. But by the end of the first quarter, I was in such a flow, it just kept on going. And then the second quarter just finished up. And I'm getting more and more people coming in, more and more people asking, more and more people saying thank you for what I'm doing. I said, okay, fine. As long as people appreciate it, I'll continue doing it. What stock pays weekly? Wasn't in the call. All right, Austin. There aren't any stocks that I know of that pay anything weekly. I do what is called weekly options using dividend stocks. So I use dividends to tell me when the stock is ready for picking, so to speak. Okay? So if it's ripe for picking by its dividend, I will do a covered call using a weekly option. That's where I get the weekly cash flow from, using dividend stocks, especially dividend stocks that consistently increase their dividends because they're consistently profitable. Those are the only ones I want to invest in. Worst case scenario, if the stock market falls apart, well, at least the companies are giving me higher and higher dividends every year. And if you say, well, if the stock market falls apart, what makes you think they're going to do that? Well, the companies I'm looking at have been in business for over 100 years. They've seen World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. They've seen the stock market crash. They've seen the Great Depression. They've seen the oil embargo. They've seen the, the Y2K crap. They've seen the dot-com bust. They've seen the, the financial crisis. They've seen the pandemic. They've seen all this crap in the last 100 years or so. and they're still increasing their dividends. So if I'm only investing in those companies, I really don't see the risk there. I really can't picture a world where there's no more Coca-Cola, no more Pepsi, Home Depot, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson. These companies have been in business for over 100 years. I don't see them going away. And if they do, well, I don't have that much money invested in each one, and I don't invest for that long a period of time. Okay, 5 days would be perfect for me. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Dara, it was in regards to your comments about VOO. Oh, I remember now. VOO. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a lot of people out there pushing it. Hey, they pay you monthly dividends. Great. You add up all those monthly dividends, it still only comes to 1 point something percent. What the hell do you want to do that for? Or was that one 11%? I forget. I don't know. But those ETFs, I don't like them because you're giving your money to a computer saying, hey, I don't want to take responsibility for my money. You do it. Yeah, I don't. That doesn't work for me. Brian, buy a long-dated call, sell a weekly option against. It's known as a poor man's covered call. It's also known as a calendar spread. But I don't teach that here, Brian. What I teach here, okay, is dividend investing for weekly cash flow using a safe, predictable, simple, consistent, and no way to lose strategy. Okay, the strategy is very simple. Rule number 1, never buy something you do not want to hold long term. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. Rule number 3, make sure the company has increased dividends. I like 20 years, consistent increased dividend. That's me. Weekly options, because I want a weekly cash flow. I can get weekly cash flow from weekly options. And then rule number 5 is make sure the numbers work. Well, what do I mean by the numbers? If I'm buying it for the ask price first thing in the morning, $19.50, the $19.50 is going for $1.40. Well, $1.40 is more than 1% of a $19 stock. As a matter of fact, it's close to 6%. Okay? Close to 6 or 7%. That's a big fat chunk. Now, why am I saying no to HUT other than the fact where it is? Oh, yeah, it has no dividends. So the downside is if it goes down, I get nothing. Yeah, no thanks. That doesn't work for me. Okay, that's why I like increased dividends, because in the worst case scenario, if the stock goes down, I'm getting higher and higher dividends. Okay, Brian, I appreciate that. All right. Batman, if I own 100 shares of stock XYZ and I sell one call contract, is that considered as a covered call? Batman, that's exactly what it is. Buy 100 shares of XYZ, you sell somebody the right to buy it from you at a certain price by a certain date. Now, I like weeklies. Okay, 26th July, that's this coming Friday. 2 August, that's next Friday. 9 August, well, that's 3 Fridays away. I like every single week. If I'm buying it at this price and I'm selling it at that price, I'm collecting that premium, and that premium is over 1%. Well, that's 1% per week. That's over 50% per year. Can you do more expensive stocks that way? You can do whatever you want, Brian. Okay? Okay, they have stocks all the way into the 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 area that have weekly options on them. You can do them. I don't, because they're out of my price range. At some point in time, I'd like to be able to buy, 1,000 shares of $500 stock. Can't do it yet, but I'm getting there. Dana Leiden is pronounced Denali Den? Denali Den. Oh, okay. I'll remember that for the next time I see you. G-Man. Is there a way to reverse the strategy and generate premiums after 2 confirmed down days? Yeah, but that would be involving puts. Okay, so see where it is now, 2 days to the downside. Okay, if I bought a put, which means I'm forcing someone to buy it from me at a certain price. Okay, buying a put forces someone to buy it. Yeah, I don't like puts, so I usually don't teach them. But if you wanted to short the stock because it looks like it's gonna go down, fine. Or you could buy you can buy a put, which forces someone to buy it. You can sell a call. Okay. You sell a call lower in the price, lower like a 17 or 16 call, and as the stock drops, the value of that decreases. There's a lot you can do, but I only teach one strategy here because it's simple, safe, predictable, and consistent. Okay, after you've perfected simple, safe, and predictable, you are a former engineer who got into stock investing. Am I right? No, you're wrong. Sorry. Dan the mortgage man. Oh, Dan, I need a couple of mortgages. I got 3 houses I need to refinance and cash out. But I don't like those big freaking fees they want to charge me. Just in case you're curious. Um, yeah, you can do basically anything you want. But I only teach one trading strategy and that's it. Here for free. I'm teaching you this for free. I'm not asking anything from it. One question, all that noise is coming from your house. Or is that TikTok? No, my son's in the other room watching TV. It's his house. He can do what he wants. Rubberman, maybe no. I missed a bunch of questions. Okay, every once in a while I'll just skip. No, I'll just skip through the questions. I didn't get to see them all. All right, sorry. Um, let's take a look at some of mine. Oh, we wanted to take a look at Macy's. All right, Rubberman, Costco, COST. I already said no to Costco a bunch of times, but people just don't seem to want to listen. I can't do, me personally, a stock that's $800 a share. Okay? I can't. It's out of my price range. If you think I have that much money, I don't. And I'm admitting I don't have enough money to buy 1,000 shares at $800 a share. That's close to $1 million. Yeah, no, that's out of my price range. Pakaris, do you teach your other strategies in your group? Yes, I do. Oscar, hey, boss, what platform are you using on the screen? The screen back here, this is Think or Swim. You can download it for free. You can use it for a month. I think they'll let you use it for a month or two for free, but they'd like you to open up an account at Charles Schwab. Don't get me wrong. I have a bunch of accounts at Charles Schwab. I also have accounts at Robinhood because Robinhood doesn't charge huge commissions, and also Robinhood allows for what do you call that? Fractional shares. Okay, so my grandson's account is in Robinhood. Okay, so me and the other grandparents, we take all our spare change, throw it into a jar at the end of the week, we dump it into an account, and then sometimes my grandson gets 1.2 shares of this company or 3.1 shares of that company, but fractional shares. So he'll buy the shares, and as it goes up, he'll sell them at 1%. Same thing, week after week after week. So he gets a nice little return every week. Macy's. All right, let's take a look at Macy's. Costco, again, out of my price range. It's just a waste of time for me to take a look at it. Okay, Macy's. I love Macy's. It's been very nice to me. It's in a downturn at this moment in time. Okay, they walked away from the negotiation table. Fine. Okay, it's at a bottom that we haven't seen since December. You take a look. Look at the price we're at now. 1644. It hasn't seen 1644 since the beginning of December. Okay, but she has been channeling between 18 and 20 for the past 7 months. But recently she just dropped below it. Okay, so a year ago we're at 1630. So we're basically the same place where we started a year ago. Found a bottom at 1061. Okay, that was in October and November. And look at the top. Okay, we topped out right around 2214, and that was the middle of March. All right, so the last 30 days. Okay, what does that look like to you for the last 30 days? Okay, 30 days ago, 1834. We got a 30-day high right here at 2047. Okay, and a big drop on the 15th. 30-day bottom at 1607. Okay, now all these days are continually going down. I'm waiting for it to turn around. Now, however, I already own a lot of Macy's because I like Macy's. It's been very nice to me. Wildcat Sam. Is there premium? Uh-oh. Is there a minimum amount of stock that you need to be purchased for your weekly method? Well, I have a bunch of different weekly methods. Okay, you can buy with 2, 3, 4 stocks if you want. It's a little slower, or you can buy 100 shares to sell one contract. Now, to do a covered call, you need 100 shares of something. Now, MPW is trading around $3 or $4. That's cheap. Siri trading around $3. There are a bunch of companies that are under $10, and there's a bunch of companies under $20. Okay, just find out by looking at the chart. Where's the high? All right, where's the low? Where do you think it's going to go next? Well, here's the 30-day bottom here. Now, I'm waiting for 3 days to the upside. In the past 4 days, it's been steadily going down. Not quite to the 30-day bottom yet. Okay, but how long is it going to take before it gets that 30-day bottom? I really don't mind. I would buy it at 1638. Because right now, the 1638s, I can sell the 1650s for 32, and that's more than 1%. And it's Macy's. It's been very nice to me this year. Can you go over your strike price for your covered calls? Strike price for a covered call. All right, Matthew Cooper. Take a look at this for a second. Okay, this is Macy's. We were just talking about this. All right. Right now, the current purchase price, $16.38. That's the current purchase price if I want to buy it. So first thing tomorrow morning, if I buy it at $16.38, what is the closest strike price to $16.38? Well, Macy's just so happens to have 50-cent increments. So it's 14, 14.50, 15, 15.50, 16, 16.50, so on and so forth. So at the current stock price now, $16.38, the closest strike price is going to be the $16.50. It's just a little bit of math. It's the closest strike price, $16.50. So if I buy it at $16.38, sell somebody the rights through a covered call at $16.50, well, then I'm going to be collecting a grand total of 32 cents per share. Now, 32 cents per share may not sound like a lot to you, but let's bring up the calculator and find out exactly what that is. I clear this out. My profit is going to be 32 cents a share. And remember, I'm buying it at the current price, $16.38. So I divide it by $16.38. And it comes to a grand total of 1.95% for the week. So if the stock stays above $16.50, I'm getting my 1.95% from the calculator says. See that? Also, I'm going to collect an additional 12 cents a share because if I buy it at $16.38 and somebody buys it from me at $16.50, no! Uh-oh, I'm getting booted off. See that up there? Sink or swim, your session has expired. Oh, well. So much for that one. Let's go take a look at another one. All right. All right. So this is a different account. So like I said, I have like 6 different accounts. This one's a little bit different. So here I have Siri, Wells Fargo, and Walgreens. Well, alrighty then. Well, let's take a look. All right. Siri, we're into Siri at 5,300 shares. Okay. Siri, S-I-R-I. Great. The last 30 days, that's pretty clear, isn't it? Take a look. 30 days ago, we're at 295. It drops down to the 30-day bottom on the 25th, 261. Well, what happens there? Well, it shoots on up to 416. Then there was a big drop. And a new bottom here at 313, then shoots back up again at 406. All right, so there's 3 days to the downside. Well, I'm into it at 350. Do I mind? No, I don't. What's Siri offering for the 350 tomorrow? 9 cents a share. Now, is that bad or is that good? I don't know. Well, I have 5,300 shares. So if I do 53 contracts at 9 cents a share, That would bring me in roughly $477. Now, let's just take a gander at what we're looking at. So, 5,300 shares multiplied by $3.50. That's 18,550. So I'm going to write that number down. 18,550 bucks. All right. Now, my maximum profit on that trade right there is it's 477. So bring up my calculator again. All right. Okay. Now I want to take 477 because that's my profit. See it down here? My max. Let me move this over here so you can actually see. Okay. Series. It tells me what it is. It tells you exactly what I'm doing. I am selling 53 series, 350 call option. Okay. And I'm collecting. Here's a max profit right here. Remember when I told you I like safe, predictable, consistent? Predictable and consistent. I can already tell what I'm going to make because it's a covered call. I already own the stock. Okay. And I own the stock at 18,000. But I'm making $477 off of it. So let's divide it by 18,550. And that comes to a grand total of 2.57%. That's better than 1%. Okay? So I like that one. Now, if it hold on. I'm gonna read this one out loud before I send it because I'm actually gonna send this one so it will be live first thing tomorrow morning. I'm going to sell 53 contracts of series 100s. Those are the weeklies. 26 July 24th. That's this coming Friday. The $3.50 call option at 9 cents a share, limit order to open. So there's my trade right there, 477 bucks. Off to the races. It will fill, it won't fill. One or the other. We'll see tomorrow morning. But look what the chart's telling me. The chart's telling me she's coming down. So do I really care that I'm selling the 350? No. I could even sell the threes, but that'd be a little gambling, and I don't want to gamble. Okay? So I don't mind that one at all. 2.57%. Yeah, I don't mind. All right, so that's that one. What's next on the list here? Walgreens. WBA. Now, we all know that what Walgreens has been doing lately. Okay, here's the last 30 days. 30 days ago, okay, the high was 1625. We had that big drop. She kept on dropping and finally ended up at 1069. That was 2 weeks ago. Well, great. Where am I right now? Well, Walgreens, I got 2,000 shares at 12. All righty then. What's the 12 going for in Walgreens? 3 cents a share. I'm going to sell the 1150s because this baby's going to go down a little bit. You know what? The 1150s are going for 9 cents a share. I got 20 contracts at 9 cents a share. That's only $180. Okay, not quite where I want to be, but all right. Wells Fargo. WFC. Last 30 days. Okay, pretty plain to see, right? 30 days ago, we're at 58.29. Okay, the top, but 61.22. And that was on the 2nd of July. She drops, pops back up again, big gap down. You see that big gap down? Now, when I always say gaps have a tendency to fill, look at this. This thing filled in 2 days. Didn't hit a 30-day high, but it hit high enough. Okay, at 61. 2 days pullback. Okay, great. Now we're at 59.23. So where am I with Walgreens? I'm not. I don't have anything. Nothing to do with Walgreens. But I got a big fat chunk of change to play with. Okay, we'll deal with that tomorrow. Yeah, we just look at WBA. Got it. Thanks. Cool. Why are you teach people the strategy if it hasn't made you wealthy? What makes you think I'm not wealthy? Okay? I have lived a very comfortable life. I come and go as I please. I do whatever I want. I sleep until late as I want. I don't go to work if I don't feel like it. I don't think I punched the time clock. Oh my goodness. Last time I worked was in November. Okay? I make enough to get by for me, and I'm okay with that. Mohameda, AT&T, huh? AT&T is going to be a no. Not that I don't like it. It's just not for this week. Okay? Look at where it is. The 30-day high was on Thursday. Friday's a little bit of a pullback. Yeah, so I won't be looking at AT&T for quite a while because here's the last 30 days. Okay? 30 days ago was the 30-day bottom. Thursday was the 30-day top. Well, what usually happens after a 30-day top? Well, it usually comes down. Now, AT&T should be on the list for 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now. And there it is right there. AT&T 2 weeks from now. All right, so come back in 2 weeks. We'll do AT&T again. Is a crash coming? Cybernetic Capital. Is there a crash coming? Well, of course there's a crash coming. There's a market crash every decade. Now, we already had one this decade, right, 2021. Are we going to have another one? Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. Party Spring, what's my ROI? I think we talked about this the other day. Okay, let's open up my website, The 10-Minute Trader, in case you're wondering. Okay, account number 1. Remember, I told you I have 6 accounts. I share 2 of them with you. Account number 1 is up 46.1% so far this year. And account number 2 is at 69% so far this year. And I haven't calculated the returns for last week, the week after, week after, week after. Yeah. Okay, so 26, week 26, week 27, week 28, week 29. Okay, so that's 4 weeks. I haven't calculated the return on account number 2. But account number 2 is already at 69%. 69%, which is barely over the half-year mark. That account number 2 is going to be way over 100% this year. Account number 1, that's going to be over 50. That's going to be close to 100%. We're at 46% already. 46%. Monday, tomorrow, starts week number 30. Week 30. There's 52 weeks in a year, and next week, on Monday, starts week number 30. So we've got another 22 weeks to go. Now, if I'm at 46 and week 29, what do you think I'm going to be by week 52? If this one here, okay, is at 69% week 29, what do you think that's going to be by the end of the year? Okay, so Party Springs, that was for my ROI. So my ROI is it's better than average. How about we leave it at that? Better than average. Your thoughts on the future? Oh, my thoughts on futures. I love futures, but I don't trade them anymore because I find I sit in front of the computer far too long, and I stopped trading my time for money months ago because I just retired. So now I trade my personal account. And I trade some for other people also. But here's the thing: my little nest egg, okay, takes me 10 to 15 minutes a day to get 1% per week, and that 1% per week is enough to pay my bills. And that's all I need. Okay, I know I don't need a Lamborghini. I don't need a brand new truck. I don't need to live on the ocean. I don't need any of that stuff. Like hanging out with my kids and my grandson. Okay. Does your strategy consist of always buying 1,000 shares and sell 10 covered calls every Monday? No, Medina. Okay, Siri here, okay, 5,300 shares, 5,300 shares. Okay, Walgreens, 2,000 shares. So no, it's not always consistent. Okay, what my other accounts look like. Comcast, okay, LUV, which is Southwest Airlines, 1,000 shares. Macy's, 1,300 shares. Theory, 5,000 shares. So on and so forth. So it's always depending upon the money. But I like buying, 1,000 shares or more because the numbers are better. All right. So that being said, it's 11 o'clock. 6 year ago, 78. All right, Larry, I have no idea what that means. I mean, I know it's 6 years ago what that means. Do you think put money in CrowdStrike? I have no idea who CrowdStrike is. Wow, I missed all these questions. Hold on, I got to go back to where I missed these questions. Not sure. Okay, there is Larry. 6 years ago, 78. I have no idea what that means, Larry. Sorry. Cybersim Capital. Most of these TikTok finance guys aren't licensed and it's illegal to give advice. Yeah, I don't give advice. I mean, I tell you that right off the bat. I tell you what I'm doing. Okay, it's perfectly legal for me to tell you what I'm doing. I can't give you advice. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. Okay. Matt Cooper, not true. I have no idea what he's meaning. What he says, not true. Never get emotional on a stock, man. Oops. Yep. You said you like MPW. Yep, I do like MPW. Does your strategy consist of? No, it doesn't. Are you sell covered calls underwater in Macy's? Yep, I do. Sheila. All right, he's giving advice. Not giving advice, sharing opinions. There is a difference. Yes, there is. Let's take a quick look at MPW because I like MPW. MPW. Now, for those you guys who are concerned about stocks with low dollar numbers or don't have a lot of money, MPW is a good one. It's $4.82 a share. Okay, a year ago, okay, 10.72. Bottomed out in January, mid-January, 295. Wow. All right, last 90 days. Look at that. Look at that movement. Okay. The high of the 90-day period, 654. The low, July 2nd, 394. I know kids in elementary school who can buy stocks at 394 a share. All right, so the 21st. Last 30 days. Here we are. 30 days ago, we opened up at 479. One day later, on the 24th, was the 30-day high at 489. A couple of days later, we're at a 30-day bottom on the 2nd of July. Look at the run-up from 2nd of July at 392. She jumps up to 496. That's a $1 move. Now, $1 move don't sound like much, but on a $3 stock, $1 move is a 30%. Okay, yeah, there's going to be profit taking. Thursday and Friday, there was profit taking. How much more profit taking is there going to be? I don't know. But I'm looking at that 450. Okay, that 450. The 450 put is going for 8 cents. Now, that's a little bit less than 2%. So I'm going to sell 50 of those just for the fun of it. Okay, I'm going to make $400. Let's get my calculator out real quick. Okay, so if I'm making $400 on this trade, and this trade is going to cost me $22,532, that's a 1.7% trade. I'm not quite sure. You know what? Let's change it. All right, I'm going to change it to 9 cents. Not a huge difference. All right, so I'm going to sell 50 contracts of MPW 100s. Those are the weeklies. 26 July 24. That's this Friday coming up. The 450 put at 9 cents a share, limit order to open. Well, there you go. 1.7%, 1.8. I can deal with it. All right, that's MPW if you like it. Okay. Now, would I do a covered call on it? The 482 going for the fives? Well, yeah. The fives are paying 8 cents, which again is 1.7% if you like MPW. Okay. Next on the list. So you're running the wheel. No, not necessarily so. I mean, every once in a while I'll write one. I don't usually do that. Hypothetically, I need to own 100 shares first just to sit there, then start my purchase for options. All right, Wildcat Sam, I'm going to say no. All right, because if you get the terminology incorrect, you're going to find yourself on the short end of the brown stick, if you know what I mean. Okay, so hypothetically, you need to own 100 shares to sell one covered call, which would be a call option. So in this situation here, if I bought 100 shares at 482, that's $482. Okay, it's really not that much. I could turn around and sell the $5 call at 38 cents. Granted, it's only $8, but what's $8 off of 482? It's over 2%. Okay, or I could sell the 450s at 32 cents. Not sure that I would because you have to do the math, see how much you're bringing in. The Mortgage Man, what dividend do you need the least amount of money to maximize 5? Whoa, I'm not quite sure I understand that question because it looks like what dividend do you need the least amount of money you maximize 5? I have no idea what you mean by that. I'm sorry. I don't understand. PPG, thoughts for this week. Hey, Mr. Darrell, how are you today? I like PPG. Let's see what it looks like. All right, PPG 128.70. We were looking at the 129s. The 129, I'm going to say no to that one right off the bat for 2 reasons. Don't get me wrong, I like PPG, just not this week. Number 1, it's not giving me 1%. Number 2, okay, look where she is. Okay, 30 days ago, we're here at 128.77. Friday, we topped out at 135.57. Okay, we got a 30-day bottom on the 1st of July. Now we have our 30-day top. Kendall, you want to join me on the live? I would really appreciate if you just DM me with your phone number. We'll chat. And if I know where you're coming from, know where your head's at, know what conversation you want to have, fine, I'll invite you. Until then, no. Okay, Medina. Does your strategy consist of ways of buying 1,000 shares and then selling 10 covered contracts? Call every Monday. Well, yeah, but that's not the only thing I do. It all goes on how much money I have to invest. Now, in this account here, I get $64,000 to spend tomorrow. That's probably 3 positions. Okay. The other account, I got $95,000 to spend there. That's probably going to be 5 positions, maybe 4 positions. I sold Siri at 10.20 about a year ago. That doesn't do us any good now. This has nothing to do with dividends. Actually, it kind of does, because I'm looking at dividend stocks just before they pay their dividend, because dividend stocks have a tendency to go up in value just before the EX date. You see these little green dots? Those little green dots represent the EX dates. Okay? This is how many different companies there are that are paying dividends. Okay? So, on the 29th, there's 39 companies. The 30th, it's got to be at least 20. The 31st, it's got to be at least 20, or the first, second. But every single one of these dots represents a dividend stock. that is paying a dividend or they have an EX date on these dates. Okay, so I use the dividends to tell me when to look at the stocks because stocks have a tendency to go up before they pay their dividend. So if I'm looking at these companies here, ATR, which is Aptar Group, 41 cent 41 cent dividend on the 24th. Okay, I want to buy it on the 8th, 2 weeks before, on a Monday. I want to buy it at the market price. I want to sell somebody the covered call at the market price if and only if the numbers work. And what do I mean by the numbers? Well, the last traded price, okay, right there, the bid, the ask. The ask is what I can pay for it on Monday. Okay, 128.70. Well, what's the closest strike price? Because I'm going to do a covered call against it. The closest strike price is going to be the 129. And the 129 is only going for 80 cents. Well, that's not 1%. So this one is going to be a no. Okay, I like PPG, but not this week. I don't. That was my biggest profit, even at 80%. Cool beans. No way that has dividends. PPG has dividends, and our MPW has dividends also. Do you think put money in CrowdStrike? I'm going to say I can't tell you what to do. Zaid, is that right? Zaid. Okay, MPW already looked at. So CrowdStrike, I can't tell you one way or the other. I don't follow that company. It's not on my list. Okay, which means it doesn't have 20 years of consistent increased dividends. Why not sell Leaps? Who said I doesn't? Who says I doesn't? Who says I don't? And I don't teach that here. Okay, so you've been here long enough to know that I only teach one strategy here. Okay, I'm giving you this strategy for free, and the strategy makes about 50% per year if you do it right. It's simple, it's safe, it's predictable, it's consistent. No way to lose if you do it right. Well, how does that work? Well, simple. You never buy something you don't want to hold long term because you might have to. Never sell at a loss. That's defeating the purpose. Make sure it has consistent increased dividends. I personally like 20 years of increased dividends. It's got to have weekly options, or how else am I going to get a weekly paycheck? And then make sure the numbers work. What are the numbers? Well, what am I buying it for? What am I selling it for? And what am I buying it for? What am I selling it for? And what is that premium? And how much rate of return am I getting for the week? That's not 1%. That means no. But if I look at stocks that I like Macy's, 1638 is the purchase price. Well, the closest strike price to 1638 is the 1650. And that's going for 32 cents. And we all know that 32 cents is almost 2% of 1638. Almost 2%. So yeah, I like what I do. It works very nicely for me. It's simple, it's safe, it's predictable, it's consistent. There's no way to lose if I stick to the rules. Okay, there is the possibility the world could end. A meteor could drop down on Macy's headquarters and wipe out every single Macy's store on the planet, and then Macy's would disappear. Could it happen? Well, according to the federal government, if a bullet can stop in midair, turn 90 degrees, wait 8 seconds, turn 90 degrees again, and then go forward, yeah, Macy's can get destroyed by a meteor shower. Okay? It could happen. Anyway, let's continue. Levi, we already looked at Levi. Levi's is a no because it's a monthly. Take a look at TGTX and tell you what I think. TGTX. $21. It has weekly options. Let's see how many dividends TGTX has. TGTX. No dividends. That's a no. Sorry. You asked my opinion. That's my opinion. No dividends. No thank you. What's on your list? Watch list for the week? Ooh, Brian, I have a bunch. I got Comcast, Southwest Airlines, CBS, Starbucks, Mara, Lennar, Alcoa, Dollar General, Siri, Advanced Auto Part, and a bunch more. Medina. Yeah, that you think are you trying to have him respond? I have no idea. Saeed, oh, you mean calls on down crowd strike? Yeah, I don't do crowd strike, so I have no idea what you're getting at on that one. WBA, I actually have WBA, Bad Fish. Pepsi, Dina Leiden. Sorry, Dina. Pepsi, PEP. 169.50. That's the current price, 169.50. So closest strike price is going to be 170. Not quite 1%. But then again, take a look at the last 30 days. Okay, look at your last 30 days. 30 days ago, 167. 2 weeks ago, we have our 30-day bottom, 158. Our 30-day top was on Thursday. No. Okay, the profit taking has already started. Okay, Friday, the stock's starting to come down. Okay, fine. Keep an eye on it. What about Southwest? How much did you make in 2023? Alexandra, I honestly don't know. Because if you've been paying attention, okay, I spend almost all of the money that I make. So I don't really keep track of what I make. Sorry, I make about average 1% per week. Pepsi. Okay, so Pepsi, we did that one. Southwest Airlines, that's LUV. Okay, LUV at this moment in time, 27.29. So the 27.50 is going to be the closest. Ooh, look at that premium. Okay, 27.29 is the purchase price. The closest strike price is going to be the 27.50, and that's selling for 74 cents. That's well over 2%. But let's take a look at the charts and see what the chart's telling me. What is the chart telling me? First thing I want to see is the high, the low, where was it, where is it, what direction is it going? That's the 5 things I want to see. High, low, where was it, where is it, what direction is it going? You can see a lot of 5s. The high was 37.45. That was a year ago. Okay, 10.30 was October 30th. The end of October, we're at the bottom, 21.95. Okay. Look at this bottom here. This was back in end of May. Okay. So from the end of May, she shoots all the way up. Okay, to the middle of June. Last 30 days, right there. Oh, I kind of like that one. Okay, 30 days ago. Okay, we opened up at 28.11. Okay, hit a 30-day high the very next day. That was 28.96. Retrace, rebound, retrace, rebound. Profit taken, shoots on up. Now we're on a 3 days, 3 days to the downside. They have a little bit of a high here at 28.84. 3 days to the downside, coming all the way down, challenging that 30-day bottom. The 30-day bottom is right here on the 11th. Okay, and that was 26.40. Okay, Friday we came down to 26.70. So it could keep coming down. So I'm going to write LUV for next week. All right, so we'll look at Southwest Airlines next week. All right, Zayed. What do I think about Aries? Andrew, I've never heard of Aries. That's a no. It's a monthly. I don't even want to waste my time with it. Whoops. All right, still new to your page. Do you show your trades live? Okay, I only show my trades live to my live trading group, and that's on Monday morning. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, mornings from 9 a.m. until about 10, until you guys are done asking questions. I think the longest we ever did was 2.5 hours. You guys just kept asking questions, so I kept answering them. I'll stay on. I'll stay on as long as you guys want. Any questions you want to ask, I'll tell you. Now, that's the only place where I share my live information. Okay, so it's 11:14. A couple more stocks to take a look at. They want to call it a day. All right. Let's take a look at Dollar General. Why not DG? That's on the list. Interesting. 122.66. So the 123s are going for 186, which is over 1%. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, how do you join? Oh, good question. How do you join? Well, you have a couple of choices. Okay, once you come up to my bio right up here, see my little picture right there in the top left corner? You click on that. That will take you to my bio. Gives you information how to get in touch with me. On there, okay, on there, Amy, how are you? I'm not going to invite you to my live, Amy, because I have no idea who you are. Okay, if you really want to join me in a conversation, DM me with your phone number. We'll chat. And if you contribute to the conversation, I'll invite you on live. Where was I going before I interrupted? Oh, okay. So how do you join? Okay, up here, the left, top left, click on that. You'll get a way of emailing me, or you go right to my website, The 10-Minute Trader, which is right here. Hold on a second. Okay, it says The 10-Minute Trader. Simple, safe, predictable, 1% per week. Okay, there it is. Right smack dab there in front of the computer screen, trading live online. You can click on that. That'll bring you there. Slide on down. Tells you a little bit about me. And then you click right there. Learn more about this simple strategy. Right there, it's free information. Live trading. Join our morning trading group. If you want to join, there it is right there. Okay, at this moment in time, account number one is over 31%. Actually, it's over 47%. I haven't changed that one. Hold on a second. Let's go back here. Okay. Account number one's up over 46%. Account number two is up over 69% so far since the beginning of the year. All right. What's the page again? The10minutetrader.com. All right. Back to my main page. So Dollar General, let's take a gander at it. 122.66 is the purchase price. Okay. I like Dollar General. It is on my list. The 123s is the closest strike price, right there. And I come on over. I can sell it for 186. Now, 186 is over 1.5% of the purchase price. So that's 1.5% I can make for the week. Let's take a look at the numbers. The high of the year, 173. That was back in the beginning of August. Bottomed out in the middle of October last year. Okay, last 90 days, we got a high at 168.37. She drops down. Let's look at the last 30 days right there. Here's the last 30 days. Okay, 30 days ago, we opened up at 128.35. Okay, she shoots up, pulls back, shoots up. The 30-day top, 135.52. That was on the 12th. That was 2 Fridays ago. Not last Friday, but the Friday before. That's a 30-day high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days to the bottom. Here we are right now at our 30-day bottom. 120.21. That's a 30-day bottom. If you're going to make money in the stock market, you're going to buy low and sell high. Well, I like this. However, I'm not convinced this is the bottom yet, because I like 2 days to the upside before I jump into any 30-day bottom. So if this is the 30-day bottom, hypothetically speaking, tomorrow should be an up day, as well as Tuesday. It should go back to the upside. So I'm going to write Dollar General down on my list. I think it is written down already. No, it's not. It is now. Dollar General. Cool beans. All right. That being said, What does Dollar General usually do this time of year? For that, we find the seasonality chart comes in handy. For those you don't know, the blue line represents this year's movements. The red line represents 10 years worth of data. If you go all the way to the left, that's January 1st. All the way to the right, that's December 31st. Where are we now? Well, we're right here, halfway through the year. Okay, July 18th. Click here, drag it to the right. What's she going to do for the next couple of days or the next couple of weeks? Pretty plain to see at going to the upside. Very slight, but still to the upside. I like to the upside. So don't go through Patreon. That's correct, Patriot. The Patriot. So don't go through. Wait a minute, no. Patreon is the only place where you get the live trading show. Okay, that's on the Patreon. So if you go to the web page, that 10-minute trader. Okay, wait a minute, not that one. Right here. Okay, it says live trading. Join the live trading group. Where you click on that, that will bring you to the Patreon Dividend Stock Talk. Okay, that's the Patreon page. All right, thanks. You're welcome. AMD tomorrow. Didn't we talk about AMD already? Wasn't AMD a no? AMD. Advanced Micro Divisions. Okay, 151. We're looking at the 152s. That's still playing way over 2%. Okay, fine. But what is AMD paying for dividends? I think they don't have any dividends. I think that's why it's a no. AMD. No dividends for AMD. AMD is a no. That's a no. Sorry. Thanks, Wade. The10minutetrader.com. All right. So we need a couple more to wrap it up for the night. Pfizer. Ooh, we haven't looked at Pfizer yet. PFE. Pfizer. 29.97 was the last trade on Friday. So we can do the 30s. The 30s are going for 34, which is over 1%. Okay, the last 30 days doesn't look too promising. That's going to be a no. Sorry. Look at it. Our 30-day bottom was on the 26th. 30-day top was on Thursday. Okay, and Friday, she didn't close higher, but it is what it is. The 30-day high was Thursday. So it's going to be a no. Now, PFE, probably 2 weeks from today, not next week. Nope, it's not on next week's list. Yep, it's on the list for 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, because you got to give it time. Okay, because here's your 30-day high. You can't argue. I mean, you could if you wanted to. It's a waste of time. But here it is. This is the 30-day high. So what usually happens after a 30-day high? Well, there's usually profit taking. She's going to come down, and eventually, I'm thinking 2 weeks. Tesla's going to be a no. Tesla does not share the dividends, and this is dividend investing for weekly cash flow. If it has no dividends, that's a no. Why do you not option trade non-dividends? Oh, the coolest will. Okay, I'm telling you why I don't trade non-option trade stocks. Because there's too many of them. That's it. Plain and simple. There's too many of them, and when they go, it's not an if. Okay, so if you think you're going to buy a stock, it's going to do nothing but go up, you're sadly mistaken. Stocks go up, stocks go down. That's all they do. Okay, take a look at Pfizer. Okay, a year ago, it's at the high of the year. She went down. Wait a minute. High of the year was 37.77. She drops down to 34, jumps back up to 37, drops back down to 31, jumps back up to 34, drops down to 29, jumps back up to 31, drops down. It goes up and down. That's all stocks do. If you're expecting the stock to come to your house and tuck you in at night and read you a bedtime story, ain't happening. Stocks go up, stocks go down. That's all they do. Okay? So, Pfizer, at this moment in time, it's at the 30-day high. That's going to be a no. So how long is it going to take to come off that 30-day high? Well, I don't think it's going to be next week. It could be. Okay, but I'm not going to look at it next week. I'm going to look at it in 2 weeks. Because 2 weeks, in my humble opinion, okay, just my humble opinion, it's going to take about 2 weeks to go from here and have all this profit taking. And by the time she comes to a new 30-day bottom, well, I'll check to see what the numbers look like. If the numbers look good, fine, I'll jump in. If not, no thank you. MPW is a solid company. See, I've been trading MPW for the past few weeks. MPW. MPW. Try it again. Here we go. Okay, see where we are right now? 30 days ago, right here. Okay, this is what we're looking at, a 30-day chart at this moment in time. Okay, 30 days ago, we're at 479. 1 day later, on the 24th, 490 was the high. That's the high of the previous 30-day high. And then she dropped to the 30-day bottom. Now, you can argue all you want if you feel like it, but that is the 30-day bottom. Okay? There's no other numbers here that are lower than that within the last 30 days. Because this number right here, that is Friday, the 19th of July. Well, 30 days ago was the 21st of June. Okay, so in the last 30 days, the 24th has the previous high at 489. But it finally broke through that on Wednesday at 495. That's the new high. Okay, on Wednesday. Thursday she's down. Friday she's down. What does that tell you? Well, that tells you the 30-day high was Wednesday. 2 days to the downside. Well, this thing more than likely. Is it guaranteed? No, it's not guaranteed. But more than likely, that's a 30-day high. It's going to come down. It should, hypothetically speaking. Because if you buy the stock at the 30-day bottom, 392, and she jumps up to 495, that is a $1.03 move. $1.03 on a $4 stock, that's a 25% move. If you think investors aren't taking profits on a 25% move, you're kidding yourself. Because stocks go up, and when they go up, people like me and some of you in the audience say, hey, it's up 20%. Yeah, I'm taking profits. And then the stocks go down. And then it will get to a point where it's like, oh, $4. Oh, hell yeah, I'm jumping in on that. Because we are the ones that create this mess. See this mess here? Okay, the highs, the lows, the highs, the lows. That's what we do. We buy, we sell. We buy, we sell. We take our profits, we sell. We buy when it's low. That's all we do. Okay? And Gina laid in. Yeah, Denali Den, you cut me some slack. You know, there's over 1,000 people that come through this website every night, and I can't remember all the names. So you only trade dividend stocks with a 1% strategy. Why not? If I can get a safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week every single week, that's over 50% per year. Why wouldn't I? All right, so we're at 11:30. We're going to call it a night. It's okay. All right. Denali Den. All right, I'll see if I can remember that. Denali Den. Denali. All right, I'll see if I can remember that. All right, all that being said, this is James from Dividend Stock Talk. I'm going to call it a night. I'm a little bit on the tired side. I had a long day. Thanks for the knowledge you give us. Hey, you're welcome. Picaris. What are the chances I can turn 10,000 into 12,000 by the end of the year with this strategy? Picaris, you know I can't tell you anything, but 1% per week, we got another 22 weeks. Okay, so $10,000 is probably $100 a week, and you got 20 weeks. You should be able to do it. Can't guarantee it though. See you tomorrow morning. All right, Alex, I'm getting ready. For those of you guys on the morning trading group, I'm getting ready to send out, as soon as I sign off here, I'm going to send out the link for the meeting tomorrow morning, and I'm also going to send out the list that we're looking for. All righty, so you guys have a great night, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for you guys over in Instagram world. TikTok, you guys have a great night. And YouTube, you guys have a great night. Okay, bring us down here. Facebook, you guys are done. And for you guys here on the big screen TVs and the computers, you guys have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, we're looking for that safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week using nothing else but pre-qualified dividend stocks. And those, my friends, are companies that have increased their shares, increased their dividends to their shareholders. You guys have a great